living with a panic attack as a woman. If you're a woman and you think you've lived through a panic attack and you've had several symptoms related to a panic attack, like breath, dizziness, trembling, sweating, nausea, well, this episode is for you. Welcome aboard the podcast, A Woman's Spark with Janik, a place to show women how powerful they are and remind them of the spark that they carry. The strength that gets us up every day. A place to feel seen and understood when we feel completely alone on a hard day. This is a podcast to help women heal and become the best version of themselves during the roller coaster of life and all the life's transitions that we go through. We're building a community of women that wants to help one another and inspire each other to become stronger and more united as we were born to be. Did you know panic attacks in women, well, they are more common than we think. First of all, panic attacks are at the best population level data showed that panic disorders affects 2.7 of US adults in a given year, with higher rates in women than men. Separate research also found that 22.7% of adults had experienced panic attack at some point in their lives, even if they didn't meet the full criteria of panic disorder. The prevalence, well, there's a report that in the past year, panic disorders prevalence in US, 3.7 in women and 1.6 in men. A panic attack is a sudden surge of intense fear or discomfort that peaks within minutes and may include chest pain, heart palpitations, shortness of breath, dizziness, trembling, sweating, nausea, and fear of dying. It almost feels like you're about to die. It almost feels like your life is ending. A panic attack can happen out of the blue, but they can also occur with other anxiety, like mood or substance use disorder. They are not the same thing as panic disorder, which involves recurrent unexpected attacks and ongoing fear of more attacks. There may be a pattern. The data consistently show that a higher prevalence in females than males, obviously, as I mentioned before. Panic disorders often begin in adolescence or early adulthood. But also, if you are going through a lot right now, if you are not able to stop and you feel like you're in a downward spiral and things are just piling on and the negative just keeps hitting you and you can't find a clean break, well, a panic attack can ensure. You don't even have to take any medication or any drugs. You don't even have to have the disorder. This can come on as a surprise, and sometimes it can be quite hard to identify. So today, I'm here to talk to you about my panic attacks. I can honestly say that in the last 2 years, I've had probably, that I've known of, 3. Last one was yesterday, and that's the one I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about my panic attack from yesterday because it's still very fresh and still very new. And we're still going to talk about the hardships and we're going to talk about the positive because yes, only 24 hours in and I can already say that there has been some positive through this panic attack. I'm going to walk you through it. In the last years, I've lived so many ups and downs. I've gone through a separation. I'm going through a divorce. I have gone through losing friends. I've gone through separating all my assets, trying to find a new job, repositioning myself in the world, repositioning myself in who I am, rediscovering who I am. So there are ups and downs with that, but they are maybe too condensed together. And so yesterday was just that final straw of getting another rejection, another no, another it's not possible to move forward and that you're going to still be stuck in the situation you're in and there is no other issue other than sticking with it. If you've lived through a divorce or are going through a divorce and you want to just get out. You just want to be free and get out of this pain and get out of all this turmoil and pain that is caused by a divorce. No matter how amicable it can be, there is always a lot of difficulties that comes with separating everything and with the emotions. So comes in this brand new rejection, and it was followed by a quick heartbeat, palpitations. My head started spinning. I couldn't concentrate. I was at work, working my regular routine of the Monday morning, trying to get through my daily list of chores that I do every single morning, and I couldn't get through a single one of them. After getting that answer, the head was spinning, the heart was racing, and I started seeing stars. I started seeing black dots in front of me. I just couldn't even see my screen in front of me. That's when I thought I need to call someone. Something's happening, something's not right. And I called my friend, who thankfully, and God bless her, came rushing. She even asked me, "Can you drive?" And I said, "You know what? I can't, because I can't even see. I can't even see in front of me. I can't see my screen." And she said, "I'm on my way." And she came immediately. Here's a parenthesis just quickly, because anyone who's having a panic attack, it's obviously always better to call for help, but it is possible to go through it alone. Ideally, you always get help. But if it's not possible, it's not the end of your life. It is just a 10-15 minute period that you will get through, and that you will be able to get through, that will end. But it won't end your life. It will just go away. So my friend arrives at my place, rings the doorbell. I can barely make it to the door, to open the door for her. And she takes me in, gives me a hug, and I can barely stand on my own 2 feet. I sit down. I'm on all fours, heavily breathing very rapidly. And she says to me, "Say nothing. You don't have to say anything. I'm right here for you. Just breathe." And she stuck herself next to me and was breathing slowly, and she kept saying, "Just breathe. Just breathe." Even if my breathing was still very rapid and very inconsistent, just her breathing slowly and deeply made me come back slowly to myself, and her asking me not to explain anything, just to be silent, and that she understood everything I was going through, that I didn't have to explain myself, that it was okay for me to be vulnerable and to be as raw as I needed to be, and that I had done the right thing to call her, because all she wanted was to help me get through this phase with no judgment, with only care and love. So if you have a friend like that, call that person. Don't wait. They don't want you to go. They don't want you to go through this alone. And if you can't call a friend, just place yourself in a safe place where you can feel as safe as possible, at peace, and where you can just be yourself. Is it an empty room? Is it your bedroom? Is it on your bed, on your couch? Just a place where you don't have access to anything that's going to hurt you or fall on you or be of a distraction. So she takes me in, tells me to breathe, tells me not to talk, and just calms me down. Doesn't even need to know what happened and how I got there. But as soon as I calmed down, even more symptoms arised. As I was crying, and I was crying. I got hot flashes. I started sweating profusely. It was like I was having. It had turned up to 30 degrees in my house. I was trembling. I was dizzy. I was still feeling like the dots were in front of my eyes. But as they were slowly dissipating, She said, "What happened?" When everything was gone and we were back to normal and I was able to just actually drink a glass of water. A glass of water is very important. She brought it to me. I couldn't even drink it at first. My hand was so shaky. I drank one sip, and once I got better, I was able to drink the water. So once I was able to tell her what had happened and how I got to this place, and it made me realize that I had finally reached the bottom of the barrel, had finally understood, my body had finally showed me that it had had enough. Even if my head was still trying to protect it, still trying to push, still trying to finish with the divorce, still trying to find a solution, my body and my brain had had enough. It had had enough. And so to rewind a little bit, the hardships that came with that is that it brought me at the bottom of the barrel. It brought me to my knees. It brought me to a place where I just no longer recognize who I was. I'd never had a panic attack this intense. At least it had been a good 8 months since the last one, but it was another climax moment that gave me that panic attack back then. So back into the story, the positive that I saw in what had happened through the panic attack is it woke me up. It woke up my brain to say, you just have to backtrack and accept that you can't change this right now. There is nothing you can do that is more important than taking care of your mind, body, and soul. And whatever's in front of you, whatever decision needs to be taken, it can wait. It can wait. And you know what? I say this today with conviction, but yesterday I thought I could wait before my panic attack. But I always thought I could just go one step further, just that little bit further. And now it's in the trash. I called my husband, who I'm divorcing from and I'm separated from. And you know what? I thank him for being the man that he is. No matter how hard our situation is right now, in the hardest moment, and I told him I needed to just stop and I couldn't go any further with the job searching and the separation of all of our assets and the divorce and the paper signing and the financial institutions and he said, "You know what? No problem." And that, I thank him very, very deeply for giving me that answer, because not everybody gets that chance. So the positive that came out of this is I was able to listen to myself. I was able to recognize that I had gone to my limit and that I needed to take care of myself more than I needed to take care of everything that surrounded my situation. Because we sometimes blur the line between what the situation that surrounds us and our true us. So, thank you to my ex-husband. Thank you to my friend. Thank you to me. And what I want to say to you now is stop. Stop and breathe. And make a decision of what really matters right now. Is it the signing of the paper? Is it the approval of the bank? Is it the relationship that's being going up and down? Or is it really your well-being, your mental health, and your ability to walk through the day today that matters most? Because really the answer should be the last one. It should be you and how you go through your day and the respect you give yourself at the end of the day. Because you can't go through a day without having you. You matter the most. So, to all you beautiful souls out there who are or have gone through a panic attack, stop and breathe. Call a friend, call help. You're not alone. And if you are right now alone and in the midst of the panic attack, just stop and breathe. You're going to get through it. You're going to get through it, and it's going to be fine. Thank you for listening to my journey with the panic attack. This is it for us for today. Tune in every week on your favorite podcast platform. And if you want to get involved with the Aurora Be Guided, Be Inspired community, or you want to share what kind of experience you've had and want to help other women go through their own life experiences, come and meet us on the platform at www.beguidedbeinspired.com. Write us and we'll connect together. Let's change the world of women one conversation at a time. Keep sparkling, you beautiful women. See you next time. Bye.